Hello dear students, in this video we will discuss the losses in the transformer and efficiency of the transformer. So this is a very important video and let us start. So losses in the transformer can be divided in mainly two parts. One is the iron losses, another is the copper losses. So first we'll take the copper losses. Copper losses is also known as the winding losses because this copper loss is due to the current flowing through the winding. So that's why it is also known as the winding losses. Okay, and it is also known as the ohmic losses because it is equals to I square into R. It can be given as PCU is equals to the I1 square R1 plus I2 square into R2. So this is also called the ohmic losses, and it occurs in the windings of the transformer, means primary winding and the secondary winding both. So that's why it is given as the I1 square primary winding due to the primary winding, I1 square into R1 plus I2 square into R2. So it can, and it depends upon this current. Current means load. It depends upon the load of the transformer. Okay, so that's why it is also known as the variable losses, because it varies as per the load on the transformer. As we increase the load, the current in the winding increases. Load means current. Load means current. Simply you can say whenever in the electrical engineering the load term comes, load means current. If you increase the load, the current will increase in that proportion. So that's why the copper losses is proportional to I square. Or if anyhow we reduce the load to half of the previous value, means half of the full load, then losses becomes 1/4 of the full load. Means because losses depends upon the I square. If load becomes half, then current becomes half, so loss becomes 1/4. So it is a simple relation, and we should keep in mind always that if any particular load, the loss is suppose fixed PCU, and if the load is increase double, then the loss will increase 4 times. Okay, if load becomes half, then the loss becomes 1/4, like this. So this is all about the copper losses. So copper losses are the variable losses, and it depends upon the loads, okay, or winding current. So now we come to the iron losses. So iron losses can be classified in two categories. One is the hysteresis loss, and another is the eddy current loss. So iron loss is composed of two components. So first is the hysteresis loss, and second is the eddy current loss. So first come to the hysteresis loss. What is the hysteresis loss? Hysteresis loss means this loss is due to the magnetization and demagnetization of the core. So if the core is magnetized and demagnetized 50 times or as the times of the frequency, then this is known as the hysteresis loss. So the energy lost in this process is known as the hysteresis loss, and hysteresis loss depends upon the frequency, and it also depends upon the magnetic flux density. So it depends upon the frequency and depends upon the magnetic flux density, and kh is the hysteresis constant, and it depends upon the materials. So this is the hysteresis loss. And now what is the eddy current loss? Actually, eddy current loss is simply the ohmic type of the loss. The ohmic loss occurs in the winding, and this loss is simply I square R type of the loss. It occurs in the core, because in the when the magnetic flux links the winding changes the EMF induced across the winding, so that EMF induced will lead to flow the current in the winding. In the same time, the EMF is also induced in the core also, and because core is the conducting material, so that's why a circulating current is set up, and this current is simply enclose the magnetic lines of the flux. So that's why it encircles the magnetic lines of the flux. So this depends upon the frequency F and Bm, magnetic flux density, and T, thickness of the core or thickness of the material. So to reduce these eddy current loss, we generally laminate the core, and so that's why we can reduce the eddy current loss. We laminate the core in perpendicular to the simply flux. Okay. So, and hysteresis loss, we can also reduce the hysteresis loss by using such type of the material that creates a smaller area of the BH curve. If the area of BH curve of that material is small, then the hysteresis loss will be less, because area of the BH curve or BH loop is known as the hysteresis loss. So by using the CRGO material, we can also reduce the hysteresis loss. Now, as we know, the V, the induced EMF across the terminal of the winding is equals to 4.44, and or V depends upon the flux, maximum flux, frequency, and frequency. And if we if we replace this phi m is equals to Vm and area of the cross section of the core, then this becomes like this. So we can say the V is equals to this is the constant, area is constant, so it depends, a number of turns will be constant, so V depends upon the Vm, means magnetic flux density, and the flux. So if we put the value of Vm in this equation and in this equation, so we can have the WE, eddy current loss. Here eddy current loss is equals to K1 V square, means eddy current loss simply depends upon the voltage. If we put that value, so WE, eddy current loss, will be equals to V square, means if V is constant, if we change the frequency keeping the V constant, the eddy current will not change. And similarly, the WH, hysteresis loss, will come out as some constant, and it depends upon the voltage and frequency both. So it depends upon the voltage and frequency both. So if we want to, if we keep the V by F constant, then Vm or magnetic flux density automatically will constant. So in this case, if Vm become constant, or V by F, by keeping the V by F ratio constant, so Vm become constant, then this hysteresis loss and eddy current loss in this case depends upon the frequency, and it depends upon the frequency square. So that so the total iron loss will be equals to AF plus VF square. So by this formula, we can separate the hysteresis loss and eddy current loss by keeping V by F ratio constant. So this is only when V by F ratio is constant. So now this is all about the iron losses, and you know that iron loss is also known as the constant loss, because for a particular voltage, suppose at a particular voltage this WE eddy current loss is constant and WH is also constant, and small variation on the frequency. It depends upon the frequency f to the power 0.6, but we know that frequency of the system is almost constant. So that's why these losses are almost constant and depends upon the voltage. If voltage, primary voltage is generally we know the constant, so that's why these losses are almost constant and does not depend upon the load. So that's why these iron losses are also known as the constant losses. Now come to the efficiency. What is the efficiency? So as we know that the efficiency, the general definition of efficiency is the ratio of output power to the input power. We generally say that it is the ratio of output upon input. No. It is not a complete definition. The efficiency is the output power upon input power. So it is the it is expressed in percentage, so it has to be multiplied by 100, and efficiency is given by the output upon input, and input can be written as input, so it should be the output power plus losses, and we know that output means V2 I2 and cos phi 2 plus V2 I2 cos phi 2 plus Pi means iron losses plus PCU means copper losses or full load. If we want to calculate the efficiency at full load, then the power this term should be the full load copper losses. So Pi is constant at a particular voltage, PCU is the copper losses at particular load. So as the load changes, PCU varies. So that's why at a particular load the efficiency of the transformer will be maximum efficiency. So at what load the efficiency will be maximum, we can calculate easily. So this is the condition for maximum efficiency. So as the load changes, I2 changes, so efficiency can be written as this V2 I2 output upon output plus losses, iron loss, and this is the total copper loss, Re2 total equivalent resistance, so it is I2 R square. Or if we divide by the I2, so this is the V2 cos phi 2, this is like this. So this is numerator and it is denominator. So numerator is constant, denominator depends upon the I2. So if we differentiate this denominator with respect to I2 and put it equals to 0, it will give the condition for the maximum or minimum. So we can differentiate this. So this is a constant, by differentiation this Pi minus Pi upon I2 square plus R2 is equals to 0. So Pi becomes I2 square Re2. So Pi, this becomes this term Pi becomes equals to this, means at a particular load at which the copper loss becomes the iron loss is equals to the iron loss, at that particular load the efficiency will be maximum, because iron loss is fixed, the copper loss is variable loss and it depends upon the load. So if we decrease the load, full load, suppose a full load PCUF is the full load copper loss. If we decrease the load, the PCUF will be decreased. So at a particular load, whenever this copper loss becomes equals to the iron loss, at that particular load the efficiency will be maximum. So that's why I iron equals to I copper loss. It is the condition for maximum efficiency, and this is a very important formula. Let PCUF is the full load copper loss, or copper loss is full load. Okay, then at any fraction of the load, suppose PCUF is the full load and we can decrease the load, and any fraction of the we decrease the load, suppose nth fraction of the full load, then PCU at any particular nth fraction of the load, what will be the amount? It is equals to the n square times of the PCUF, as we have also mentioned this in earlier the earlier slide. So from there we can also calculate the fraction n, the value of n. N is equals to PCU divided by PCUF, means n is equals to root of PCU divided by PCUF, and n is the how much fraction of the load the efficiency will be maximum. So this can also be calculated. So now come to the another important term, all day efficiency of the transformer. And the all day efficiency, why all day efficiency is required? Because in the distribution transformer, as we know, the load is changing throughout the day. At the night the load is very less. So what does it means? It means the efficiency varies throughout the day. So if we say what is the efficiency of the transformer, how can we define that efficiency? Because efficiency is varying throughout the day. So that's why the efficiency of the distribution transformer is expressed as the all day efficiency. And the formula of this all day efficiency is it is not power, it is the now energy output upon energy input in 24 hours. So in whole day, in one cycle of the day, what is the energy output and what is the energy input? So and another question is why the transformer rating in kVA and it is not in kilowatt. It is a very important question, is generally asked in all the interviews and all of the, because as we know the transformer is rated in kVA because because we do not know the power factor of the load, so that's why it is rated in kVA, not the kilowatt. Now let us have the one example how to solve the numerical problem based on the efficiency or simple efficiency or commercial efficiency. Suppose it is a 40 kVA transformer, has a core loss is given at 450 watt and a full load copper loss PCUF, full load copper loss is this much. If the power factor of the load is 0.5, calculate the full load efficiency. So we have to calculate the full load efficiency. Second part, the maximum efficiency, and third part, the load at which maximum efficiency occurs. So first part is the full load efficiency. So full load efficiency is very simple. Full load efficiency, what is the full load efficiency? Is the power output at full load, means 40 kVA is the power output at full load. So it is in kVA, so we will convert it in kilowatt, so it will be multiplied by power factor. So 40 multiplied by power factor, so it is in kilowatt. So but keep in mind, if we numerator in kilowatt, so all these, this and plus this, all the three terms should be in kilowatt, otherwise it should be in watt, then this all this in watt. So we have put it in watt, so all these should be in kilowatt, and this should also be in kilowatt. So what is this? So now come to the, this is the output power upon output power plus core loss, because core loss is constant, so core loss is 450 watt, so convert into the kilowatt 0.45, plus full load copper loss, so it is 800 watt, so it is written, so 96.24 is written as the full load efficiency, and approximate value of the transformer efficiency is 95. Typical value of the efficiency is 95%. Now the second part, come to the second part, the maximum efficiency. What is the maximum efficiency? So we know that whenever this loss 800 will be equals to this loss, the efficiency will be maximum. So we'll put core loss is equals to copper loss is equals to this much, this watt. But at what load this efficiency will be maximum, because this is the full load kVA. So at what load this efficiency will be maximum? So we'll use the earlier formula, that N square into PCUF is equals to PI. Suppose at nth load the efficiency will be maximum, so this is the N square into PCUF, because suppose the load is, if load is half, then what will be the copper loss? It is the 1/4, so N square. So N square time of the 800 should be equals to 450, so N is equals to 3/4. So at 3/4 load the efficiency will be maximum. So here this is the output load, so here this is 40, so 40 3/4 of that 40 is equal to 30 kVA. So we'll put the 30 kVA, so 30 into the efficiency will be maximum, so 30 into 0.8, so it is written wrong, so it should be the 0.8. So 30 into 0.8 divided by 30 into 0.8 plus 0.45 plus 0.4, 96.3. so this is a very important question. Now come to another numerical, how to solve the numerical based on the all day efficiency. So in this all day efficiency, the loads are the load cycle will be given to you. Suppose 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. 4 hour half load, a.m. to a 1/4 load, this is full load, this is negligible load, or there is no load. So at each load we'll calculate the copper loss. So we have given the full load copper loss. Suppose 100 kVA distribution transformer supplying light and fan load, at full load copper loss and core loss is this much. This is the copper loss and this is the core loss, and we know that core loss is constant throughout the 24 hours, and this 1.5 kilowatt will change. So we'll calculate at each cycle at half load what is the value of 1.5 kilowatt is full load, so what is the value of at half load? So 1/4, so that's why, so we'll calculate. So copper loss is 6 to 10 a.m. 1/4. Similarly 1/4 load, it is equals to 1/16th, and similarly full load, so we know that it is the full load 4 hour, so 1.4 4 hour, so how much kilowatt hour will be there? So now the total copper loss 24 hours this much, so output for 24 hour is this much. This is the output power. If we assume that the unity power factor, so half load means full load is 100, so half load is 50, so 50 into 4 because half load is for 4 hour, 1/4 load for 8 hour, this much, and this is the 0, so this is output. So output in kilowatt hours divided, so this is 800 and this is 8 output plus PI plus PCU is equals to 93.4%. so by this way you can calculate the all day efficiency, and previously we have seen that how to solve the numerical of the efficiency. So okay, have a good day. Thank you.